gorgeous? It's Adele from Get Gorgeous. Protein sources for women. I get asked this question a lot. We are, as women, woefully depleted when it comes to protein. Why is that? Well, for the last 50 years, we have been doing low-calorie diets. And even if you haven't been on a diet, that kind of information has filtered into your ecosystem. Low-calorie has generally meant high carbohydrates, simply because carbohydrates have less calories in them than proteins and fats. And therefore, as a result, we are not having enough protein in our diet. It has become a worrying trend not to eat protein. And we have these headlines screaming at us that we're eating too much. But what is good protein and what does it mean to you? Well, quite simply, protein is going to make you feel satiated, fuller for longer. The carb hunger cycle, the carbohydrate hunger cycle. When you think about your macros, like your fats, protein and carbs, they break down into your body in different ways. So carbs are broken down into glucose and it creates an insulin response. And that means that insulin response makes you crave more glucose, carbs. So you have the hunger cycle, the carb hunger cycle. We need to make sure that your body is full of proteins and fats so that you feel fuller for longer, but also you have more nutrients in your body. Proteins are broken down into your body and they form amino acids. There are 9 essential amino acids, and when I say essential, they need to be consumed every day. You need to consume amino acids every day. They can come in the form of meat, seafood, dairy, chia seeds, fish, and vegetarians need to combine their grain and their pulse to make a complete protein. I have done a video and a blog all about that, and if you click the link, you'll find out vegetarian sources of protein as well. So carbohydrates, glucose is produced from eating carbohydrates and it's mopped up by insulin. They are a team. They are a great working team. But if you eat too much carbohydrates in one go, insulin doesn't know what to do with all that glucose, so guess where it goes? Yes, little love handles on the side of your body. And I talk about all of this in my book, and I make it really, really simple so that you can change your whole life, transformative change, but one step at a time. So your glucose breaks down and insulin mops it up, and insulin is the storage hormone. It puts it into your little love handles so that it can be used later. But if you're not using it later, it stays there. So I'm asking you to eat good quality protein. But one of the things I need to mention to you before we get going is that when you're eating a lot of protein, protein is acidic. Do you remember your pH from school? 7.4? Does that ring a bell? That's the acid and the alkaline balance in your body. Now, if you're eating a lot of protein, the acid goes higher, reflux. So what you need to do is balance that out with alkaline. So when you're increasing your protein, you also need to increase your alkaline foods, which are vegetables. You know that a vegetable is good for you, your salad, your greens, but now you know why. You're balancing your pH, your 7.4, your acid, your alkaline. They need to be balanced. So if it's not balanced, your body will pull calcium, magnesium out of your bones to make it stable. So it's in your best interests to increase your protein and increase your veg. So a steak with a mung bean salad would be right on it. People ask me what a mung bean is. Well, have a look in the blog and you'll find out. So let's get down to basics. Let's do the maths. How much protein do you need? Well, a little bit of maths. You'll need 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. So let's make the sums really simple. If you're 10 stone, you need, that's about 140 pounds. So you're going to need 140 grams of protein. And that's just if you're staying still. That's if you're not doing much exercise and you've got quite a desk job and you're not doing much during the day. So you need 140 grams of protein. So where are you going to get that from? Well, if I told you that 3.5 chicken breasts were 140 grams, or 10 tofu burgers, you can see what I mean by being depleted in protein. Let's go down a little bit more. In the blog and in my book, I talk about different elements of food and which ones give you the highest protein gram. So for instance, chicken is 39 grams, but turkey is 47 grams for the same serving size. So interesting, you could make a little swap there. Dairy. Lots of people avoid dairy unless you're going and you've got lots of snot coming down. Don't worry about dairy. You're not lactose intolerant unless you've got that tickle in the back of your throat and your nose is streaming. Cottage cheese, 15 grams. Eggs are 8 grams of protein. So you can add these into your diet. Milk, and that is going to help you increase your protein. I am a big fan of full fat milk. Vitamins B12 and B2. What are the deficient vitamins in women? The B numbers. Drink more milk. It's also got the easiest digestion of calcium and phosphorus, which is really good for your biology. Milk has saturated fat in it, but I'm not bothered, and neither should you. It's got polyunsaturated fat and monounsaturated fat, but it also has linoleic acid, and that helps it to be metabolized. It's a natural product for your body. I know people are going to shout at me for that comment, but that's how I work and that's how I feel. Your pulses have proteins in them. Chickpeas, 10 grams of protein. Beans, 9 grams of protein. So sprinkle those into your salad and you've got a protein mix. Things like soya mince are interesting. That can have 12 grams of protein, and corn 8 grams. So they're not as high as some of the other sources. But the one big thing that worries me about soya mince and corn is that they also have plant-based estrogens. Now, if you are a menopausal woman, your hormones are already slightly out of kilter, and if you're adding a lot of soy into your diet, then that balance is going to be disrupted even further. So just be aware of your protein sources, and if that's not clear, click the blog, or even better, by Gorgeous, how to look and feel fantastic every day. And you'll find out more. It is lovely talking to you. If you want to talk to me some more, please do pick up the phone. I love to chat. Speak to you soon. Bye.